Well, I mean, if nobody's gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. Frayla. Guys, I sound so enthusiastic. Frayla, one of my favorite rulers. She was a ruler that came out in Ancient Knights, and I pulled 2 of her, so I felt obligated to build her. But then I built the original version, which I'm sure that you guys already know about. If you don't, there's a link in the description for the original version of this deck. This is the updated version. I don't know why I haven't seen any updated versions of Frayla's deck build. Maybe it's because she almost never has anybody bring her to any GPs or ARG tournaments. So I guess nobody really has a reason to make an updated version of her, because I guess she's kind of in that tier that people consider garbage. But here is the deck build that I made, the updated version, to try to enlighten you fine folk playing Force of Will, to realize that she's not a garbage ruler. She's in fact an amazing ruler, okay? This is the difference between garbage and trash. Okay? Okay? So Frayla, she's a dark elf ruler, okay? She's got judgment for darkness and 1 colorless, energized for darkness, and a fun little ability that reads as such. At the end of your turn, you may put target dark elf from your graveyard into your hand. If you do, this card deals 300 damage to you. Okay? When you energize, she becomes Frayla, the Revolutionist, a 10-8, which actually is still pretty good. I mean, she's still on the high end of stuff. I don't know why they give her less defense than attack. I mean, spoilers, I guess it's because she kind of dies. She gets shish kaboobed and then turned into a evil, wicked spirit by another ruler that I need to make an updated deck for, which is Welser. But that's not the point of this video, okay? The point of this video is to realize that she's actually bonkers crazy amazing, and you guys should all love her. You guys should make her your, at least, if not your all-time waifu, your dark elf waifu, for sure. So on her Jailer side, still dark elf. Big surprise there. She becomes a guy, a dude, a broski with the ability, when this card enters the field, put target dark elf from your graveyard into the field. That's a fun little technique, ability, if you will, that's going to come in useful later, and you'll see why. She's also got the ability, when this card attacks another target dark elf you control, gains +4/+4 in swiftness until the end of turn. Have you ever had like a buddy who you're like, man, I wish this dude was faster and also more jacked? Well, guess what? If Frayla was your buddy, she'd make you faster and more jacked, okay? Then she got 2 activate abilities, one of them being for 1 fire, which gives this card gain swiftness until the end of turn. And another one, which could be the game winner if you plan it right, 1 darkness and 1 fire. This card deals 100 damage, multiplied by the number of dark elves you control to your opponent. Okay, so that's my girl. That's my girl Frayla. That's what she does. The first card in this deck, and quite possibly one of my favorite dark elves, not from art, but from ability. I run 4 of Shade Assassin. Now, Shade Assassin is a 2/2 Dark Elf Resonator for 1 darkness, which has the ability, when this card deals damage to a Resonator, destroy that Resonator. It also has, this card gains swiftness as long as you control a Dark Elf. Well, guess who happens to be a Dark Elf on the ruler side? Yeah, that's right, Frayla. Frayla brings all the boys to the yard, including Shade Assassin. Shade Assassin's like, yo, I want swiftness. So I run 4. I run 4 of my boy Shade Assassin. I'm gonna move him over because I don't want you getting glared the whole time. Now let's say that you go second, okay? And your opponent doesn't summon a Resonator on their first turn. You've got Energize, you call a stone. You use the stone to cast Shade Assassin, and that stone that you called happened to be one that produces a mystery counter, which would of course be the stone from the Dark Castle. If that very specific happenstance happens to happenstand, do you know what you could do? You can cast one of the 4, count them, 4 blood rituals in this deck, okay? Blood Ritual is a 1-drop quick cast mystery chant with the ability, target J/Resonator gains +6/+6 until the end of turn, you lose 400 life, or Awaken, remove a mystery counter from your J ruler. That J/Resonator gains +9/+9 instead, you lose 600 life. So get this, you got a little pain. Guess what? You got a lot of gain. If you got this combo on your turn 1 going second, you just hit him for 11. You just hit him for 11, okay? Now this card works really, really well with a lot of the Resonators in this deck, especially one that gets drained that I'll show you later, okay? So I run 4 of Blood Ritual. I'm going to be a little bit all over the place when it comes to the costs of the cards. In this deck, I'm not going to do, like I usually do, all the 1 drops and 2 drops, and then 5 drops and then 7 drops. So I'm going to jump around a little bit. So going with the Blood Ritual / Shade Assassin combo, I've also got a fun little ditty called Dino-Rush. Now, Dino-Rush is a 2-drop for 1 fire and 1 colorless chant. Unfortunately, it's not quick cast. With target Resonator, the eroded, just ignore the J, you control deals damage equal to its attack to another target Resonator. So you use that on, I don't know, maybe our boy Shade Assassin. I run 3 of those, by the way. And you just killed something. Something's just died because Shade Assassin did damage to it. And unlike Battle for Ataraxia, it's not back and forth. It's just Shade Assassin smacking around somebody else. Okay? So I run 3 Dino-Rush. Now getting back into the Rezos. I run 4 of a new card. This one's from Time Spinning Witch. Not quite as new as Winds of the Ominous Moon, but still really nice. I run 4 of the Resonator Dark Elf Gravekeeper. It's a 4/3 Dark Elf Resonator. Whoop-de-doo. It's like it's a tribal Dark Elf deck, but whatever. Yeah, for 1 darkness. And it's got the Enter the Field ability. When this card enters the field, search your deck for a Dark Elf and put it into your graveyard. Then shuffle your deck. Now, a cool little fun combo with this is, hey, turn 1 or 2, you drop a Dark Elf Gravekeeper onto the field. What are you going to put in the grave? Something you're going to use way later? Hell no. What you're going to do is you're going to put another Dark Elf Gravekeeper, because then, with Frayla's ruler side, you pay 300 at the end of turn, you put the Dark Elf Gravekeeper into your hand, summon it next turn, and suddenly, you're putting more Dark Elf Gravekeepers into your grave. You're going to take a little damage. Whatever. That's no problem. I'm shaking my head because it's not a problem. Because then you're going to fill up your field with a bunch of Dark Elf Gravekeepers, filling up your grave with Resonators, and then you're going to essentially keep tutoring out a bunch of buff, amazing Dark Elf boys and girls onto your field so that you're always 1 step ahead of your opponent who might not have Resonators in hand or on field because you keep freaking Dino-Rushing and Shade Assassinating everything. So you keep their board presence down a lot. I don't know why I keep taking weird pauses in between all the things that I'm saying. Now, do you know who happens to be Dark Elf Gravekeeper's best BFF? That would have to be this next Resonator, which I run 3 of, which is Lily, the Last Flower. Unfortunately, Lily didn't come in a full art in the boxes that I bought, so I'm really sad. If any of you guys have full arts, write me a personal message and totally send it to me for free, because you guys are awesome, and that would be amazing. So I run 3 of the Lily, the Last Flower. She's a 2-drop for 1 darkness and 1 colorless 5/5 Dark Elf Resonator with the following amazing ability. When this card enters the field, target Resonator your opponent target Resonator your opponent controls gains -2/-2 for each Dark Elf in your graveyard until the end of turn. And I totally forgot to do that every single time I summon this card against Dayman. Oh lord. Ooh. Guys, if you're like me, learn to read cards. Oh my god. Oh wow, that would have been so useful. Okay, so yeah, Dark Elf Gravekeeper is amazing because when this thing hits the field, you're essentially gonna probably kill something with all these -2/-2s for each Dark Elf in your grave. So, remove a Dark Elf in your grave. This part I did know about. From the game, put a 1/1 counter that you get to keep on this card, and this card gains Drain until the end of turn. Awesome thing about that is that you can proc multiple instances of Drain. So if you have this bad boy on the field and you're swinging, you use the, whatever that was, the Blood Ritual, give her +9/+9, she's suddenly a 14/14. You remove something, give it 1 instance of Drain, she becomes a 15/15. Then you remove another one, she becomes a 16/16, but 2 instances of Drain. So you hit your opponent for 16, and you just gained whatever 2 times 16 is. So yeah, basic math, kids, okay? Arithmetic. Lily, the Last Flower, is essentially the card that's going to keep you in the game. Because you're going to be doing so much damage to yourself to swing for that win on turn 4, turn 5. If you're going for the late game and you've killed your opponent's J-Ruler and you got to kind of make it to that turn 6, 7, 8, whatever, Lily's going to keep you in there. She's your buddy. She's your buddy, okay? So I run 3, Lily, the Last Flower. Now Lily only has 1 homie, and that homie is Lily's Protector. I've got a beautiful, beautiful full art. And Lily's Protector, unfortunately, even though being really close homies with Lily, never, ever in this deck should be on the field, ever. So what you want to do is, you want to have the Dark Elf Gravekeeper, I keep forgetting the names of junk, put this thing into grave. And so it's a 3-drop, though we don't care because we're never going to cast it, for 1 darkness and 2 colorless, 7/7, Dark Elf / Ethereal Resonator. With the ability, when this card in your graveyard is removed from the game, target Dark Elf gains barrier until the end of turn. I wonder what Dark Elf we want to use that on. Maybe it's Lily, because it's Lily's protector. Now, let's say that you do in fact happen to accidentally draw that fine Resonator to hand, but you don't want it there because that's silly. That's silly town. We don't like to be in silly town. We run this next card. I run 3 of the Life or Death Struggle. We got a glorious full art there. So Life or Death Struggle, I run 3 of them. It's a 2-drop darkness chant. Each player discards a card, and then each player banishes the Resonator with the biggest cost, or the highest cost among Resonators that they control. So, field control, hand control, and you're guaranteed to get rid of the stuff you do not want in hand. I run 3 Life or Death Struggle. That, and it's a beautiful card. I got full arts. I had to run it. I just had to. There was no choice. Now, another card that I only run 1 of in the deck that you never want to see in hand, or if you do, you hope to goodness that you have Life or Death Struggle also to go with it, is Hilda and Saffina. Now, Hilda and Saffina is an amazing card. It's a 4-drop, hard cast for darkness, 10/10, Dark Elf Zombie Resonator. With the ability, when this card enters the field, you lose 1,000 life, which sucks. It sucks so hard, and actually, if Diamond hadn't allowed me to kind of take back a little bit of my turn, I would have lost, because I summoned this thing when I had exactly 10 life during our matchup video. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. But it has the other ability. When this card leaves the field, you gain that 1,000 life back. This card gains swiftness, flying, and first strike as long as your life is 1,000 or less. That's where the pain comes in, okay? She takes 1,000 away, but if you're already at 1,000 or less, she's going to be putting in those extra hours for you, buddy. She's going to be putting in that overtime. So if you draw her, you want to use Life or Death Struggle to get her into grave. If not, around turn 3 or 4, depending on how many Dark Elf Gravekeepers you've been seeing, you want to Dark Elf Gravekeeper this thing into grave. And then get it onto the field, proccing off of Frayla's J-Ruler side ability. Okay? Now, this deck, like every other deck, should have a lot of draw, because you want to have options. You want to have stock options, okay? Now, to make sure we've always got a nice little hand, and by little hand, I mean huge hand, okay? These hands are huge. They're huge. Okay, we've got Blood Spray, okay? There's not much to explain here. With the mystery counters, you can draw 2 cards. This card deals 300 damage to you, so it gets us towards that 1,000 or less for Hilda and Saffina to be super awesome. And if you awaken it by removing 1 mystery counter from your J-Ruler, destroy target Resonator with total cost 2 or less. So you net a card, you draw 2, so you net 1, and here's the crazy part: you can potentially kill a 2-drop or less. How amazing is that? I run 4 Blood Sprays. I mean, honestly, if you're not running Blood Spray in a Darkness deck, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to play this game. You should stop. Just stop. Go play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is great. Just kidding. Yu-Gi-Oh! So, have you guys noticed that this deck requires like a lot of mystery counters? Well, guess what? I got the solution. Okay? I got the answers. It's a little ditty called Soul Concentration. Concentrating your soul. You know, soul from concentrate. It's a Darkness quick cast chant with the ability choose 1, put 3 mystery counters, that's the one I usually use, on your J-Ruler, or put 2 1/1 counters on target J/Resonator you control. Maybe Lily. I don't know. Maybe Lily needs a little boost. So I run 3 of those puppies. Now, there's a couple of other cards that I don't want in the grave, okay? But I only run 1 of each, okay? That's the Blazing Floating Castle Refarth and Neo Shadow Barrier, okay? Or Neo Barrier of Shadows. Okay, so the first one is a 1 fire and 1 colorless addition. J/Resonators you control can block J/Resonators with flying in case you're going up against something really pesky. And Seal 7, we don't care, we're never going to get there, but it could tap and do 500 damage to target J/Resonator. The second one is Neo Barrier of Shadows, 1 darkness and 1 light addition. Your opponent pays 1 more to play activate abilities of Resonators they control. Seal 8, probably never going to get there. Your opponent can't play activate abilities. So I run one each of those. How do I ever see them, you ask, Master Fija? Well, guess what, brother? Guess what, sister? Guess what, androgynous human being slash alien slash cyborg slash the toast? Okay, I run a couple of things that let me look for things without cheating, okay? I'm not pulling a teacher here, okay? Okay? I've got Fate of Reunion. You heard of this guy? You heard of this guy? It's a 2-drop, 1 darkness, 1 colorless, chant. Unfortunately, not quick cast. Whatever. Choose one. If you control 2 or more darkness J/Resonators, which is super easy in this deck, you may choose both. Search your deck for a card, then shuffle the rest of your deck and put that card on top of it, semicolon, or draw a card. So, likely both. I run 3. Fate of Reunions. It's a fate of reunioning. Okay? Then, pretty sure that's Austin Powers in the background. I don't know where that's coming from. I run 3 Lightning Strikes. The reason why I run these bad boys is because, I don't know, maybe I need to do a little bit more damage. Maybe I need to learn how to read cards and realize that this card actually, in fact, does 500 damage, not 600. Who knows? You know, baby steps. We'll see how we get there. So, Lightning Strike is a 1-fire quick cast chant. Choose one. This card deals 500 damage to target J/Resonator, or this card deals 500 damage to your opponent. 3 of them. I need to whittle down my opponent. I need to win. Okay? Last card, okay? We run 2 of the Final Battle. Just a good card. You're running up against barrier, you're running up against things that just don't want to die, or you want to get yourself down to the 1,000 or less, and you want to take a couple of things with you. The Final Battle. Chant, unfortunately, not quick cast. Huge missed opportunity, but whatever. You may pay 200 life rather than paying 1 up to X times to play this card. J/Resonators to your opponent. Control, gain -2/2 until the end of turn. This could also be used very well in tandem with Lily hitting the field, because now I just realized she had an enter the field ability. So there you go. All right, let's get into stones. Stones, super easy. I run 2 basic darkness magic stones. Boom, gorgeous. I love the cube. I love this one from Battle for Ataractia. Both really nice stones. Then I run 4, count them, 4 stone from the Dark Castle. And these are the promos. I actually like the original better. If anybody's got the originals that they want to trade me for promos, send me a private message, because I would absolutely love that you guys would love to help me. So treat this card as a Darkness Magic Stone. Tap to produce 1 darkness, and when this card enters the field, put a mystery counter on your Jade Ruler. That's where I'm getting the other mystery counters from, okay? Okay? Then I run 3, count them 3, Magic Stone of the Scorched Bales. Treat this card as a Darkness Magic Stone and a Fire Magic Stone, so I get to produce either, okay? I run 3 of them. And then finally, I run 1 Magic Stone of the Ebon Home. It does the same thing, but it's a burn stone because I'm not running Gil Lapis, Conqueror of Ataractia. So when it hits the field, if I want it to hit the field untapped, it burns me for 300. This was my girl Frayla. She needs more love, okay? Guys, if you own a Frayla, give her some love. Put together an updated deck, okay? Let's see her in some new tournaments, or even just at local plays. She's a phenomenal ruler, and I think people need to realize that losing a little bit of life, getting a little bit of pain, can give you crazy returns, aka huge gains, okay? So Frayla, the dark elf goddess of sick gym gains, is saying, yo, build this deck, and the rest of 2018 / whatever the current year is will give you crazy gains, okay? So peace out. This was Master Fija, Frayla. See you next time.